Good
Hey,
morning, everyone.
good morning.
Well,
Howard, how you doing?
Howard, Tiger.
yeah. Thank God it's Friday, huh?
TGIF. That's right. Wh- Where were you in UK, Howard? I can't remember where you are.
Yeah, I'm in Switzerland. But I'm an
Switzerland. That's
Englishman in
right.
I'm an Englishman in Switzerland.
Yeah, yeah. I remember. I was on. You were on the first one I was on, the first session or the first trial. So that's great. Richard taking a break today. I wonder. Awesome. Well, anybody want to go first?
Not
Yeah.
not
This
Yeah,
is
you go for it. You
absolutely
go for it.
nuts.
What's that,
Okay. I was
Michael?
looking at GCAT. Yeah, I was looking at
Oh
GBP
yeah,
CAT today. Let
yeah.
me share my screen here.
That
This
works.
thing is insane, right? You guys won't
Uh huh.
believe that for one, when it's confirmed yesterday. So let's start from the top here. Right. So we got our signature 5200 cross. Right. This is how we know we are in level two. Right. So we'll do this 5200 cross, level two. And we're looking for that M off the 200. Right. So this is actually the first move. And this is what I mean when I say once you get the bias correct, you're good to go. Right. So this was the M off the 200, which we'll draw here now. Right. So this was actually a very interesting. This is more like what I would call a 12 trade because you got one leg here and then you got two over here. Right. So this was one move. I took this trade yesterday and you guys remember it came back and took me a break even. Tiger, you was here.
Yeah.
Um, so this came back. I remember I took partials. It came back and took me out at break even. Uh, Not sure exactly where, but this took me out at break even here after I took some parcels, right? So the next move that occurs
Yep.
is right here, right? And they got me good because literally this move happened so late in the day. As you can see, this was at 2 in the morning, right? So I grabbed the small pullback. Just locked off. It is. So I grabbed a small pullback. I was in at 55, I want to say. No, it couldn't have been 55. Man, I forget what it was. I think it was 55 though. It couldn't have been 55 because it came and took me on at break even.
Mhm.
Anyway, long story short, this thing it pulled back. Man, that is so crazy the way they did this. So long story short, this huge move they played me. Let me lock this and then delete all of this. No, keep it. Okay, cool. This move bias, but they came back even though I took this second move once it confirmed here. This little bit of green here messed me up.
Yeah.
And I've been obviously I was working on the stream this morning, so I didn't even see this until just now. Like literally, this thing took me out. This little bit took me out, and then it runs in my direction.
Of course it does. That's the way it
So
works, Michael.
yes, yes. Like, are you
Say la vie.
serious right now?
Say la vie.
Are you serious right now? And
Yeah.
mind you, my TP was literally at the 80R low. It went way lower than that. So that is interesting to say the least.
Yeah. That
So
grind.
this is
That'll
this is
grind
actually
your
my main
gears.
trade.
Yeah.
It will. I'm glad today's Friday. I need to reset after
A
this
few
one.
short
Cause
four-letter words probably
man,
came out as well.
yes, they did. They did nasty with this one.
Yep.
This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Because you remember, Tiger, yesterday I took this trade in the session, right? We had
Yeah.
this
Right
very
towards the
first
end.
move went kind of far. Yeah, and I moved it to break even. It did. I took off partial, so I took off that quarter. It came back and hit me. But the cool thing is, this is why you always just got to stick to your guns. Now, this one I couldn't help. I mean, obviously, again, I'm not up at 3, 4 in the morning like this, but once this 5,200 crosses and you have this move, how I always draw this diagram, this is a scenario where it went like this, right? So we got this small kind of pattern here, and it does a mini structure and then runs, right? So this is one move, and then this, I'll do it square in a circle, is another move. This is this same exact thing right here. Same exact thing. So this was actually 2 moves in one. They made the M, but they didn't really break the structure all the way, because you thought they would have broke this structure here, but they didn't. They made the M, they came down, didn't break this structure, came back, hit the 50 one more time, and then dropped and broke this structure. So when I say it's variations to the theme of this pattern, this is another type of variation of it, right? Because normally when I draw it, it looks, this is the textbook one, right? Like, just looks just like this. Textbook, right?
Yep.
But this is a version of it, right? Like, they won't throw the same exact thing every time, because if they did, everybody would catch that. Right. Everybody would catch it. Right. So you got to get used to seeing the variations of what this will look like. Right. Like, it can look a few different ways. Right. Like, it can look something like this. But once you get this cycle down packed, you're in good shape. Yes, it sucks that I wasn't able to grab this trade like I really wanted to, but the move was still identified, and they just got me on that one. That's like great defense, better offense type of play with this one.
Yeah. Now, Michael.
Right,
now we're not
exact.
We've been talking a lot on these streams about how many trades we miss while we're sleeping. So we ain't gonna have that excuse starting next week.
Oh man, you know what's so funny? I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually looking forward to that, Tiger.
Playing the European session.
Seriously.
We're gonna be the night owls, but no, we won't have any excuses then, will we?
You know who? It's because these trades are gonna be able to get caught live. I'm gonna be super happy about that. Yeah. Like, the same stuff that we've been saying for these last 2 weeks is gonna be able to be live in front of everybody watching, and it won't be that whole man I was asleep.
No pressure.
Like.
Then we can complain about missing the New York session.
Right.
You can't beat a bit of live trading, You can't beat a bit of live trading.
Like Michael said yesterday, we're not vampires.
But no, these were two great setups, guys. Like, within this setup, both these vertical lines, I'll put the strings on them. Both of these were great setups. Like, absolutely great. Albeit the first one didn't really run, but the second one did. Like, they didn't push this first move because they was waiting on this second move. They got it good.
Yeah, even ahead of the Canada news release, it was running pretty well. That's all the anticipation, probably, for the unemployment numbers, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
just those insiders, they already knew what was up. Insiders.
Yep. Other than that, I'll go over GJ really quick. I didn't really get to look at the jump right into what we were doing this morning. So, but yeah, so this was nothing to see. I still got this kind of marked up from yesterday. Not interested in this at all, for the simple fact that we don't have that M, right? Like, market baseline has never created the reload like I would want it to. So I'm interested in this setup at all. Literally, this is not what it's supposed to look like for me to take it.
No.
It needs to look more like this. right? Which probably won't even happen anymore. I'll just keep the drawing on here just cause.
Too low on the curve for you. No.
Yeah, this didn't really make the move, right? Like if you see once this 5,200 cross, we don't have any real interaction off this 200 EMA. This is nothing. Plus, we don't have. If you look at this once again, once the market baseline goes below the static, there's no market baseline never goes back above the static. So this is 2 reasons to stay out of this trade, and I mean hard reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So not interested in that at all. And then GJ, I believe GJ is, oh yeah, GJ topped out. So I'm not interested in GJ either. Once we got that 5,200 cross, once we got this 5,200 cross, we was looking for that move off the 200, which did happen. It was here, right? So the move is done. I wouldn't take this, and this is why you don't take this, because once the move off the 200 has happened, you can't take the next one if it's in level 3 like it is now. You see, this is really, really high, right? So this move, you think you can take that, and look what happens. That's why I don't take that move after this. Not in level 3 like this. Now, I'll take it in level 2, but if it's in level 3, this is a sucker's trade is what I call it. They can't wait to throw this at you.
You're paying premium pricing for those crab legs. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You want those crab legs half off.
Exactly. Yeah, give me my discount. So yeah, that was pretty much it. I'll pass it back, and then I'll go through like the charts and see if I see anything else. But for now, that is pretty much it for me, guys. GCAD didn't make as much off of that as I would have wanted to, but yeah, there's always next week.
Always next week. There's always another week. Let me make sure my goodies are shared.
Yes.
Share.
And in the meantime, I'm going to look back here and see what we got.
Yeah. Pound that caffeine as well.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Always a great idea.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, let's go ahead and move on over here to my screen. Just taking a look real quick at the calendar. So obviously we had some employment change numbers come out for the Canada dollar. Overall, the Canada dollar has just been beat down when we're looking at just the fundamentals. I'll show the speed gauge here in a moment. But yeah, today we did have the employment change numbers come in at 83,000. So excellent day for the Canada dollar for these employment numbers. They were 8,000 last week, or 8.8 thousand projected to go down, but they actually went way, way high. So that's a really good, solid number for the Canada dollar, as well as the unemployment rate. We were at 7% last time. They projected it to go higher, but it actually ticked lower. So obviously, as soon as that happened, we saw the Canada dollar spike like crazy. I mean, I think dollar within that first couple minutes went like 35 pips, something like that. It has since retraced its gains, I do believe. Let me just go take a look at the Canada index, Canada dollar index. So yeah, there's the spike up, and then it's just kind of retraced itself. It's always fun to look on a 1 minute time frame whenever reports are released. Just go to the dollar, Canada dollar, just as an example. Yeah, this candle right here, 7:30 candle, 7:30 Central Time anyway, here in the U.S. Obviously, you can see Canada spiked really well. I mean, in that first minute spiked 30 pips. So, but yeah, the buyers were down here waiting. If we're just looking at demand zones underneath, you can see. I mean, it just let's see here. Let's go to a 2 hour. Boom, dropped right into a solid 2 hour demand zone candle, and then has since trying to retrace itself. So I've got overall the Canada dollar down, because if we look at the Canada dollar impact, we're only showing about a 16%. Now, this is before the employment numbers are coming out. But yeah, overall, it's just been nothing but bearish reporting over the last couple of months. I mean, from the GDP to the inflation reports, the PMIs for the services manufacturing sector, retail sales. I mean, it's all looking pretty bad. So now this still has to update. And when it updates, it will put the unemployment rate obviously at a bullish. So it will slightly uptick this number. So it'll still only be down in the 20-something% by the time this updates. So remember, 50% is kind of my baseline. Anything under 50 is just bearish. So although it looks great today and it's going to definitely have traders excited, I wouldn't look for it to be anything sustained for the Canada dollar. So that's why I say, you know, whenever these good news pieces come out in a currency that's just been beat to hell, I mean, this is just where I look for an underneath supply or demand zone, depending on which side of the, you know, the base or the quote the currency is. But in the case of Canada dollar, I mean, again, it just dropped perfectly into that 2-hour demand zone. If I just draw it up for you real quick, boom. So yeah, I mean, I would expect to, yeah, I mean, we'll have some good volatility, but I don't think Canada dollar is on my list. So here's what I got. I got Euro Canada dollar as far as matching something with the Canada dollar, and then the Aussie CAD, and then the New Zealand CAD. The Australia dollar isn't as strong, so personally, I'd be looking more at the Euro and the New Zealand CAD, because if I go over to my main surprise meter, this is the major currencies. So the Euro is the strongest at 83%. Okay, again, as always, that's just the that's beating expectations for the all the economic reports. And if you look at the Canada dollar, once again, it's the worst. So anytime I can match a higher strength currency to a lower strength currency, that's the route I'm always going to go. And it's not a coincidence that the Euro CAD is the number one currency pair. It's given me a very bullish score of a 10. So yeah, I'll chart that here in a moment. But first, I just wanted to look and see what other things I wrote down. Yeah, so 35% tariff on Canada. Trump's putting some blanket tariffs of like, and it depends on the country, anywhere from 15 to 20, 25%. But yeah, he's really jumping on to Canada. So that obviously wasn't good for Canada today. If we look at the Canada index one more time, let's go back over here to the CACSI. I call it the CACSI. 1 hour time frame. So overall, Canada dollar has been kind of up, but of late it did go down, and then today's just going to go hog wild for a while because of these tariffs, as well as obviously the reporting. So yeah, it's going to look like an earthquake telemetry machine today, guys. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Right. So, but yeah, I always like to look at the indexes, before I look at any currency pair, just to see where they're at. The VIX, the volatility index. I mean, it's still really low, getting dangerously low if you ask me. But it did see a spike up, obviously, when the tariff news kind of came out. Oh, that's a 4-hour candle, by the way. So, which started at 2 a.m. So yeah, just a big spike up on a smaller time frame. So yeah, looks like the market's pricing in a little bit of volatility today with the tariff news, and then obviously with the Canada news. But let me see here. What else did I have? Yeah, so I think that was it on the news front. I'll just take a look at the Euro Canada dollar pairing as soon as I find it here. Actually, I'll just flip on over here to all my alerts. Euro CAD right there.
Actually, if you don't mind, I think I got a setup on NZD. Yeah.
Oh, hop on it. Get you money.
Hang on a second. Let's see. I'm liking NZD cash shorts right now.
Yeah.
Hang on. Man, I feel a little behind today. Normally I jump up and at least I'm lagging just a little bit.
You fairly
okay. I'm gonna do a new share here. Cool. So I'm liking NZD CAD for the shorts, and it's at a perfect little spot. Let's see.
You shared your screen with the back end already?
Yeah, can you get?
There we go. There you go.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'm really liking this. This is barely a 1-for-1, so it just makes it, but it looks like this is at, let's see, 8250. We can do 8250 on NCAD. NCAD 8250. Oops, that's not it. I hate when this thing moves like that.
Ooh, I see your M.
Okay. Okay, great. 8250. 8250. There we go. Let's put this bad boy at, we'll put this one at the quarter. Or the half, sorry. Put this at a half and short this right there. Sweet. All right, so we're in. Then let's go back and look at this low. What price is this? This price is at 8208. Let's do that. 8208. 8208. Not bad, not bad. And we shall see what this one looks like. But yeah, this is good. Like this. I'll give some rationale really quick, then I'll pass it back to you. But as always, guys, once you see this 5200 cross, which is what we have here, right? 5200 cross. We are in level 2. We're looking for M's off the 200, right? So that's just the main thing. We got this pretty nice M here. It's nice. Looks like a head and shoulders mini structure type deal. But more than anything, it's a pattern, right? We got this. This is what I see from here.
Okay.
And then this candle, what closes below all of this, this is good. Then you have a pullback to this exact area here. And then this theoretically should drop. We also have on the TDI, if you look, we have the outside the, I'm just doing this. We have the outside the band here, right? We got another outside the band, but this is inside the band, right? So TDI looks great. And then lastly, but not least, is if we go over to our 4-hour chart, we can see that the previous candle here is below the 13 EMA. So this is everything I need to take the trade, actually. So looking good, looking good. And let me lock this. I'll delete everything else. I'll keep it. Cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Got a crazy pullback right now, but we'll see what it looks like in a bit here.
Yeah.
It's got a little half on it. It's Friday. I'm kind of
now.
I didn't really do my full.
Do you also observe, like, if you flip to your 15-minute chart real quick, do you also look at that M structure? Like,
So
let's say,
if I do the 15-minute chart, it should be a M off this 800 EMA. So same exact thing, really. You. It's just fractional. So how on a 1-hour chart, the 5200 crossed, on this chart, the 800 200 will cross.
Gotcha.
And I'm just looking for
because I was just from a
same type of
just
pattern.
from the M. Yeah, just from the M standpoint, I saw that on the 15-minute. I'm like, oh, that's kind of. I just wondered if you looked at that as a confluence, just off the candles, not necessarily the indicators.
Yeah, I'll look at the 1, the forward, and the 15 just to see what the 15 looks like. This is nice too. I got. Whoops, I didn't even click that one. We got this outside the band. Well, we got that outside structure outside the band. Then we do have this little head and shoulders pattern, right? So this is nice. Market baseline, we got the reload. has everything it needs to go.
Looking like a Halloween ghost.
Hey.
Right. So, well, cool. I just want to jump into that really quick. We can pass it, Tiger.
Yeah, let's dive in. I've got a long on Euro dollar. And a little bit of echo.
Oh, it looks like we got a.
Let's try.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Zoom or something.
Okay, let's try this. That seems to be a bit better.
Yeah, that works. That sounds good.
Yeah, it is.
Cool. Okay, 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so Euro dollar's me kind of top trade at the moment. I've been waiting for this one for the last few days. Daily, first of all, obviously major uptrend. We have come back over a number of sessions towards the rising 20-day moving average, which coincides with a 38.2% retracement of this last swing higher. So we've got kind of like a Fibonacci support level, bang on where the rising 20-day moving average is. A little bit below that, we've got the old swing high as well. So big confluence of support on euro dollar between 116.32 and I guess 117 or so. So I'm taking my first stab at long euro dollar with a stop under yesterday's low, 116.60 or so. Just as a kind of backdrop to the whole thing, we've got this RSI, which is kind of corrected from deep overbought into what I would call underbought now. So we're kind of in that kind of zone, or just kind of a little bit ahead of that zone where the RSI normally bases out during a healthy bull trend. So we've got a lot of confluences for a low risk buy trade on euro dollar. So taking my first kind of stab there. So that's that one.
Nice.
Cables, as you guys have been saying, sterling has underperformed a little bit of late. We've had some. I think the GDP was weaker than expected, and I think a few days back we had some bad news on the Chancellor, some wobbles on the kind of UK Chancellor, Finance Minister. So sterling has kind of it's kind of, I guess, to some extent mirrored the euro dollar decline from the high, but it's been a bit more aggressive because we've had these additional things come in. So we're kind of back into the range, but we're in that kind of, you might want to call it like a bit of a buy zone in a bull market between the 20 and the 50. So not a bad place to look for the thing to base, but obviously a little bit early days yet because sterling is underperforming. So it's not top of my list until we get the turn. But we're certainly in a kind of a good buy area on the chart. So I think if we can get a nice turn on euro dollar, a bit of acceleration, this thing stops falling, then that'll be a good excuse. Maybe Monday. Might be Monday is the day to get into this one. Onto dollar Swiss. So again, major trend is down. As with the other two, we've been kind of correcting higher after this recent big accelerated push to the downside. So we're just literally unwinding from oversold. RSI is oversold, and we're now undersold at the moment. We kind of haven't quite made it up to the averages yet, but I think it's a dead cat bounce. A lot of resistance above the market, broken support, 80.40. We've got the average at 80.25, and I guess we've got the round number at 80, the figure. So I don't think too much on the upside for dollar Swiss before we kind of turn down, make a new low. So yeah, they're the kind of the three of the majors. I'll hand it back to you guys for the time being, and we'll come back with some more stuff a little bit later.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, I can hop on my QE trade platform real quick. Back in if you want to move me there. There we go. Yeah, speaking of dollar Swiss, Howard, I'm still catching it to the downside. I kind of agree with what you're saying, more of a dead cat bounce. It's one of my bearish setups fundamentally. Yesterday, just at the very end of our stream, I was looking to jump into this trade, and I knew as soon as the stream ended, I would get my triggers. So soon after the stream ended yesterday, I actually just looking at it from the top, like you said, it's obviously been going down quite a bit down for quite a while overall. But what I was seeing was the 30-minute. Oh, sorry, let's go to the right time frame. So yeah, 30 minutes. I identified this supply zone up here, and then I identified this demand zone down here. So yeah, during the end of the session, going down to a smaller time frame, I just wasn't quite getting what I wanted to see as far as like a trigger candle, but I finally did get it on this candle here, like literally. Oh, that was right at the end of the stream, 9:45. But yeah, so I ended up getting into this trade. Now it went down, and then it's just been kind of going sideways. It's being kind of boring. I mean, if I go back to my 30-minute, made a few bucks so far, but this is a trade that no matter what happens by the end of the intraday session, I'm likely going to close out just because of the carry trade. I'm going negative the carry trade when we're looking at the the interest rate differentials. So I don't feel like getting charged excessive swaps over the weekend. So especially if it's just going sideways all day. But if I can get a nice drop, some kind of quick drop over the course of the intraday session, I might think about keeping it open. But yeah, I mean, just going to my tool real quick. Actually, I'm gonna flip back over here. Everything's quicker on the regular one. So dollar CAD, go back to my 30. Yeah, if I just get this, no, I'm sorry, dollar Swiss is where I need to be. Yeah, there we go. That looks right. So yeah, what I was saying is, if we just get just nothing but this today, then I'm getting out of this trade by the end of the day. Now, if we get a nice spike down, I might stay in it. It just depends on how much it wants to pay me. I don't think it's going to do a whole lot, to be honest. This was supposed to be just an intraday trade yesterday, but like I said, I did get a pretty decent spike down, but it just went sideways. We did hit that overall daily demand zone from way back when. So it's quite a ways back. Like, wow, quite a ways back. Somewhere back here. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, demand zone on, my gosh, that's a long time. I didn't realize that was so far back, 16 years ago. But a zone is a zone. So yeah, we hit that, getting that dead cat bounce, like you say. I just thought I would take a quick short because when I'm looking at the Swiss franc, it's a pretty decently strong currency. It's at 66%. Yeah, again, anything 60 or higher, I'll look to place some trades on. If it's in the 50s or the 40s, I just kind of ignore it. But Swiss franc, and then obviously the dollar hasn't been that great. It's been about 53, so it's more neutral. So I got Swiss franc as just barely actionable. Like I said, anything over 60, that's where I'm happy to buy it rather. But that's the dollar. We'll see how that goes. Keep on it towards the end of the session. But Michael, so you were talking about New Zealand CAD. Back.
Yep.
I'm going to pull it up. Obviously, look on a higher time frame. But I like what you're doing. You can sell it down. I'll be happy to buy it in this area down here. So looking at it on a time frame, this really good demand zone down here. Red candle down and a bunch of green candles up. A pretty hard for that currency. Now it's one of the moving pairs. It's only about a 60 pip ATR throughout the course of a day. So
yeah,
it's not an exciting pair. And as you can see on the daily, I mean, it's just been going straight sideways. Like you can't get any more sideways than that.
You literally can't.
Mid-April, it looks like, but yeah, if this 4-hour demand zone, I mean, it is lower on the curve. If we look at the daily, it's right here. So let me just turn my drawings back on. Yeah, it's that green candle, and I got a lot of excessive drawings on here. So let me get rid of my fib level. Let me get rid of and as you can see, that's my my anchored VWAP, that red line. It's just been riding it perfectly on the daily. As always, I like to go to the lowest point of whatever I'm looking at and put the put my anchored VWAP there. So yeah, it's just been bouncing nicely off of it. It did have a pretty good spike down below it at one point toward the end of June, but other than that, it's just bouncing nicely off of it. So that's why it's being supported. It's just chilling. It's just chilling on the VWAP.
Right. Right.
It's fairly priced, as they say, fairly priced.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, I got to turn my fan. Getting hot in here. Sorry.
I was just about to do the same thing. That's so funny.
Yeah. But yeah, I like that zone because, this is my 4-hour chart on the left, my daily on the right. I mean, as you can see, it's low on the curve. This is my Hungarian flag I always bring out, right? So it's low on the curve because the flag's green. Sorry, this never gets old. Right. So there is my curve. Top. Oh, hold on a second. I'm sorry. I need to go over here on the wrong spot. Low on the curve. Low on the curve. Just like that. Red means sell, green means buy. So I want it to come down here, right? But yeah, right. You're in the process of selling it down to me, Michael. Okay.
Good.
You just
it's coming right on over to you.
You can just cover your short, and I'll buy it from you, and I'll take it on up. Sound good?
Sound good to me.
Yeah, because I think the New Zealand CAD has given me a score of a 6 on the fundamentals as well. So I mean, it all lines up good. You're taking it a little bit on the opposite end, but man, I love your method. It doesn't really matter what the fundamentals are, apparently.
As long as there's no huge red news, I kind of stay away from that, but that's about it.
Yeah. But no, I mean, that's what makes a market. I mean, you can profit on the way down because all uptrends, all good, good fundamental currencies. I mean, they all trends have retracements, have the pullbacks. So, So yeah, I just thought that was interesting to point out. But Euro CAD, just switching gears to that one, that is my overall favorite one. Obviously, like I said, I'm getting a score of a 10 on my fundamentals. So with that Canada dollar release of that employment information, before that I had a couple zones drawn up on the smaller time frames. I think 30-minute. Yeah, or 1 hour. Let's see here. Yeah, 1 hour zone. So clearly the market didn't care about my puny zones because obviously the news. So this is a perfect example for everybody watching why not to trade during news like that. So I stay the heck away because, yeah, no matter how strong a zone is, it doesn't matter. So I can delete those now and then look further down. Mm-hmm. So I have my alerts set, and this looks very similar to the New Zealand CAD trade potential setup. So, yeah, 4 hour demand zone, really nice spike upwards. So that would be my next point of interest on the Euro CAD. Have it come down and, yeah, I probably won't take it today. I probably don't want to hold this over the weekend, especially with the volatility. But, yeah, we'll see. This might be a setup for Monday or Tuesday. That'd be my best guess.
Right.
But it's definitely top of my list for next week. Just come down, shake out some buyers and sellers in this area, touch my zone, and then I'll buy to the long side. Just like you have your tattoo of your ends. I've got the same thing with my projection for my price action. So we'll have to get,
Funny enough, it's kind of similar, though.
Yeah, it really is.
It's kind of similar.
It doesn't look as good there. Let's redraw that. Yeah, so where price is, come down, find a happy middle, buyers move it up, collect liquidity. Sellers move it down, collect liquidity. Unfilled orders to the long side. Yeah, there's my tattoo.
I'm not going to show you where mine is.
Does it have a?
That was a good one.
Hey, does it have Michael's M and M on either side?
You bet it does. Yeah.
Okay. What else have I got?
No,
here?
joking aside, you need to have your A and B setups. I think that's the key thing.
Yeah. The Euro CAD for the moment would definitely be my A, and then the New Zealand CAD would probably be my B. Gold is back on my positive list, my bullish list. So let's take a quick look at gold, because it's given me a score of a 6. Now, like I mentioned the other day, it's been riding this uptrend line very nicely for quite a while, trying to form a downward one. So in the gigantic picture of things, it's kind of forming a big funky looking pennant or flag or whatever you want to call it. Let's take a look at the 4 hour real quick, see what we got over here. So yeah, let's see here. Wednesday. So Wednesday morning, while I was sleeping, of course, it hit this 4 hour demand zone. Right. Now, so when it hits a zone and it takes off.
What time was that, Tiger?
5 a.m. Yeah, it looks like 4 or 5 a.m.
So good. See, we'll be up next week. So I'm glad to know that.
No excuses. But yeah, I mean, that tagged in perfect. That looks like that would have hit around the 61.8 fib level. I mean, if I just add that on real quick. Yeah. 61.8. Yeah. Kind of getting down, touching what they call the kill zone, the 71 to 88 level. That's for another day. We'll talk about that in the future. But yeah, it just came in nicely. Now, I left the zone marker up there because it didn't quite make it through 50%. So if it just taps in slightly before taking off, I'll leave it and I'll just take my color from green to light green, just so that I know that there may still potentially be some unfilled orders left in the bottom part of that. That's just personal taste. It's mitigated, so I probably won't be taking trades off of it. But if things reverse, like let's just say the fundamentals completely flip, which they do often these days, especially for gold, and I find a short sell opportunity up top, well, I'll look at that as a profit target, potential profit target. So if I'm short selling, I'd want to buy just before that so that I don't get a bounce back upwards. So that's why I do that. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't be interested. Now, having said that, it did form a new zone, a new 4 hour zone. So it's a zone on top of a zone. So, I mean, I would probably keep an eye on this level now. Just drawing this new zone here. Push that out. There we go. So I got a new opportunity on the 4 hour time frame. I mean, a lot of green candles coming out of that area. Had a little bit of a hiccup there for half a day or so, but then it turned around and broke this high. I'll feel a lot better about that zone if it breaks this high right here. So let's get a close up in this area. This is something, more of a week or so down the line, maybe a week and a half. But we come down, dilly-dally sideways, find that fair value, upside, downside, buy to the long side. Just like that. So July 22nd, that's my prediction. We'll leave that up there. We'll see how wrong I am. Or ain't. But yeah, that would be a good spot. And then obviously that would be okay. So yeah. And of course, I mean, like I said, joking aside, that's potentially a week and a half, 2 weeks away. Obviously by then my 6 score I have fundamentally could be negative. So that would negate it at that point for my trade plan. Not necessarily, not everybody, but for my trade plan. I don't want to trade it if it's giving me a neutral rating or obviously a bearish rating on the fundamentals. So that's why these are very dynamic lists for me. They change throughout the day, but usually only change couple points or so a piece. So let me see here. We got the Dow. We got the UK 100. I think the UK hit a zone while I was, of course, sleeping.
How many times? I'm glad this is the last time we're going to be saying this, Tiger.
Well, no, because the new excuses next week is, well, I was taking a nap during the New York session. Okay, so this is the one, Michael, I drew up yesterday where we had the zone on top of the zone. I think it was a 5 minute. Just looking at it on the small time frames. Let me see. No, it was 10 minute. Let me go back. 10 minute. Take off my drawings. So yeah, I remember we had the, let's see here. Was it that candle? Let me turn my drawings back on. It was 15 minute. So many zones. Well, either way, I had oh no, it was that top one and it was on a 5 minute. Yeah, I drew this zone here. That's it. Remember we had this 5 minute candle before a big spike up with high volume.
Yeah.
And then we had this
like
last candle
before the stream ended.
Right. And then we had this red candle before 5 green candles coming out. So I ended up, instead of drawing 2 separate rectangles, I just combined it. So I made it a zone on top of a zone. Now, the market, I don't think cared too much because it just pierced through it, but it did tag the one on the bottom. So it did tag this zone here on A15. Yeah, this 15 minute candle down here. So it tagged it and obviously made a pretty good move. Yeah, that's the one that hit at 5:15 a.m. Sorry, I wasn't awake just yet. But yeah, I mean, just looking at that, just kind of looking for a trigger candle. I mean, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one since it doesn't matter anymore. But here's a good example of this potential trade that we won't be missing as of next week. So it touched it perfect, and we had a nice engulfing candle with the volume increasing at the bottom. So that right there was a perfect opportunity to wait at the top of that for price to break, which would have been that candle right there. So that would have been the perfect entry right there for me. So obviously it's a little higher up. If we incorporate the whole demand zone, that's 13 pips. It's moved up to 17, retraced, but it's moved up to 20. So, I mean, that was almost a 2-to-1 as we sit right now. Now, yeah, you know, like I mentioned, I mean, by taking a trade off of that candle, it's okay to put the stop loss below that candle if you want, or obviously below the demand zone. I typically incorporate the demand zone, but as it sits at the widest, it's almost a 2-to-1. So a nice little scalping opportunity, right? But yeah, I think that's it for the moment. You guys have anything to add or jump on and look at real quick? Howard,
yeah, I'm
anything?
kind of looking at
Yeah, from my side, it's just really, yeah. One sec. Yeah, you go for it. Go.
You said you had
You
one.
want to grab the screen, Howard?
Yeah, go for it. Go
on. Okay. Yeah, we can get my screen shared up here. That would be nice. Okay, sweet. So in CAD, we're in shorts. And I'll be honest, NU looks kind of sexy too, guys. I'm going to delete all of this and hold on to this one. That's from last week. Oh, keep that. So yeah, this looks decent too, actually. I typically don't like to do 2 trades kind of in the same thing because I'm already short in NZD CAD. But I'm only in halfway. So this might be worth taking. So I think I am
Yeah.
going to take this. It's the same exact pattern that you guys can see. They look the exact same.
Yeah.
All right, we got the 5,200 cross. Next thing we're looking for is that M off the 200. In this case, it's more of a head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder, head, right drop. This should be the next move. We got on the TDI, we have outside the band, which is fine. This next one is inside the band, right? We got this reload. Market baseline went above the static. It's starting to point down here. Pretty nice. Last thing we really look for is price below. Keep it. See, this one is close here. See, what I would like to see on a 4-hour chart is price being below this 13 EMA. And it's not. If we look really close, you can see this is actually above it. So I'm going to pass on this, actually. And this is the only reason, right? Man, it's so close, though. That's crazy. Yeah, this is the only reason that I won't take this. Had this been below, this little bit of difference been below this 13 EMA, you can see it is above it, then I would have taken it. But since it's not, I'm not going to touch it. I'm already short in CAD, so I'll leave it alone. But if this goes, I just want to point out I saw this. I just technically couldn't take it.
That's a Michael in year 1, year 2 trade you would have taken, right?
Yes, absolutely. You said it perfectly right. The old me would have taken this trade. And I'll be lying if I didn't say I'm not tempted to take it still right now.
Of course.
Even though knowing this, yeah, I'm still slightly tempted to take it. I'm like, it has everything else.
Breaking all rules, it's one of the hardest. It's the hardest thing not to do. It's the psychology behind your rules. It's like it tests us every day, doesn't it?
Every single day. And look, like as this going, it's like, see, had I been in there, I'll be up a pip or two already. I would have covered the spread.
The bottom's going to fall out of it now. Yeah,
right.
That's the way it
works. Just
because
market makers heard I'm not getting in, so now it's going to run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to leave this one alone. It's Friday. I'm already short in CAD. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm short in CAD at 30, so it's pretty much right at break even. I'm in at 82.30, right? Let's see. Yeah, 82.30. So right around break even. We'll leave this alone. Dang it. They so sneaky for that though. And this is the funny part too, right? If you really look at this on this 4-hour chart, once this kicks in here. Come on. My EMAs aren't on here. There it is.
Oh.
So you see they closed below on this one, then they closed above on the next one, and then they closed hard, closing pretty. Well, we still got 3 hours on it. Anyway, it's pretty low now on here. So the way this little trap move goes, close below, close above, and then all the way down here is funny. It's a nice little wicked pattern that they throw sometimes. So it's like, you guys, they know exactly what they're doing. It's funny to see it sometimes.
They have broken into your computer and they know your trade plan, and they're gonna.
Yes, it's like how do they do this every time? Right. So leave that alone. I'm not gonna be tempted to. I'll leave it alone. Look at else see what we got here. I started the top, and I'll just pretty much go through what I normally go through, like when I'm with my pairs here. For something like this, 900 is really high. I wouldn't touch this at all. Rather see this kind of top out, like kind of make move like. Let me do it like this. Yeah, I'd rather see it do some move like this. Like give me some M top here, maybe a little double one. Come down, break this area, and then give me that M, and then drop towards this 800. I'll be interested in this move. right, to the downside. Right now, it's too high. I don't want to try to buy this anymore. So the first three will be the same. NAS 100, US 30, and S&P will more than likely be the same. Yep, so same exact thing here. This is really high too. I wouldn't want to buy this. Right? Like we
Expensive
did
crap.
have this area over here. Yep. Once again. Now we did have this area over here, right? You would have to put your stops pretty high above here, and at this point, the R to R didn't even make sense. So this was not a good trade. So we leave that one alone. The same exact thing, guys, as you can kind of see here. We got this M top here. It kind of failed to break it. I'll be looking for something else like this, right? Break below again, and then give me that move going short. I'll be interested in this going short, right? But right now, this is nothing. They're about to take your money if you try to short this or buy this at this point.
Oh, thanks. I'll take your money, of course.
Yep. It's like a donation for them. That's how they're looking at it. Right? Same exact thing. All right, I want to see something like this. Because to me, this is the exact pattern, right? Topped out, these EMAs would be then crossed to the downside. Market baseline also would be pointing to the downside at this point. All right, so it's not making these move. I'm not interested in it at all. Next up, we got gold. Now, gold's a little bit different. Gold's been on this little tangent going long. Now, I will admit, no matter how high gold gets, I'll buy it. As long as it makes the proper setup, right? So right now, you see we got this 5,200 cross. We know what happens after that. We're looking for W's off this 200 EMA. So if it does something like this and goes back up to the upside, the market baseline would need to come down. Give me that reload, right? Then I'll be interested in this. All right, then I'll buy this going long. All right, stops below here. That'll be a nice 2.5. Not bad at all. Right.
Why
so I'm
so
actually
high
leave
on
this up.
gold? You said that no matter how high it goes.
Yeah, so gold for me is a little bit different. It's not like it's a currency pair. Yeah, I mean, gold has just been going up since the beginning of the time.
Yeah.
And I'll short gold, but I don't like to. I much rather buy it because everyone, even when stocks are doing bad, they typically sell stocks and buy gold. So buying gold to me and buying Bitcoin, if it makes the pattern, are always a good idea to me. Always.
Yeah, I've never. I
seen
think
a
I've
post
ever
yesterday. It was
sold
actually pretty funny. Yes, it's not the easiest thing
pretty
to
bullish, pretty constructive, huh?
do. Yeah.
No,
I said I seen a post yesterday was talking about, it said back in 1975 you could buy a house with a brick of gold. And today in 2025 you can still buy a house with a brick of gold. Not a brick of gold. I think it was like a pound or whatever it was, something. But the point was, the gold has been going up the entire time. So and I agree with that post. So when I see things like that, I'm like, yeah, I concur with that, because if I see this pattern on gold, I don't care how high it is, I would buy it. I would definitely buy this. Right? As long as this R to R makes sense, which it definitely does, I'll take it. That's fine with me. Silver, on the other hand,
no market is too high.
it's all
not with
going
those.
to the moon.
Yeah. Same thing with Bitcoin, right? Now gold, silver, I'm sorry, not too into it, because it kind of does a weird thing sometimes. Like if you look at all of these crosses, this is what I don't like. It's just a little too much. We got a cross there, across here, cross here, cross here, cross here. It's just way too many crosses. So I don't trade it if it sets up perfectly, but typically no. So I typically would need a pristine setup. Of course, crude oil. This has been interesting. I'll leave this up here just because I will trade it if it does set up. But I think I've only traded it twice, like literally only 2 times. So I just got crude oil up here. But Bitcoin, I'm not mad about this, but it does suck that I was in this trade last week, right? Like this was super close. This was right here. Yeah, I bought this right here, literally right there. And we change this to green, make everything congruent. Yeah, literally, if you guys can look at this, you can kind of see this W pattern here. Pretty funky, but W pattern was right there. I bought this literally right at this exact point, and as soon as price closed below this 13 EMA here, I closed it per my rules, right? If price closes back to the downside below the 13 EMA, and additionally price closes on a TDI, which will be the RSI line going back below the signal line, which is the red one, to close, you got to close it. And what happens after that, it bumbles around and takes off literally 1 day later.
Always the way.
I feel like Bitcoin is like a wild horse sometimes. You got to like really tame this thing.
It's the wild, wild west. Yeah, it really is.
Yes.
I mean, it'll go sideways for a long time, then it'll go parabolic, then it'll go sideways.
Yeah.
Then it'll go parabolic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got quite the
so you never know what's going on with this thing.
Yeah. And right now it's in its wild west phase. Parabolic. And I'd like to get into it, but I'm not quite getting the right fundamental score. I mean, I've only got a 4, so it's close. But yeah, I'd be breaking my rules. So that's what I did last week. Because remember, I got into Bitcoin when it was giving me a score of a 3. I don't know. If I get a pullback, we might take a stab at it. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, it'd have to
get something.
Just to get some skin in the game, low risk skin in the game. But I got a couple spots on there I'd be interested in looking at. Show a couple zones if you want, unless you got something else.
No, that was pretty much it. The peso's finally going back up, thank God. When this thing is going down, normally for me, $1 is $20. So $1 is 20 pesos here. So that obviously helps me out. But the lower the peso gets, the less that conversion is. So something that normally would cost, let's say 20,000 pesos, would only cost $1,000 USD. If that goes down, every dollar that the peso goes down is $50 in USD. So if the peso goes from $20 to $19, something that was $1,000 is now $1,050 here. So yeah, I literally only watched it conversion rate.
Do you have pretty good? Like, is it expensive for you to trade that with your broker? Do you have good spreads on it?
I don't trade this at all. Actually, I just look.
Okay. Yeah, you just monitor
trade it.
Live there,
yeah. I've never once traded the peso. I've never traded this pair.
Yeah,
not at all. I only look at this so I can keep up to date with
what you got to spend while you're there. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
I'd say
because
on the I say on the big chart, the monthly or the weekly, you're kind of at a major level, 18.5. Looks like a good place for it to base out. Looks like a kind of it's had a correction on the bigger chart. Yeah, zoom out to maybe maybe weekly. So this to me is a correction for that move up. Go weekly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So funny enough, I moved here in 2023, right? So February of 2023, 23, I moved here. So it was around $18. Yeah, February. I'm just put February of 23, right? So it was like around 1850 when I first moved here. But believe it or not, at one point, this thing got all the way down to $16. I hated that. I'm like, oh man, things are, you know,
a little
this is
price.
not good. Yeah, but then we saw some really good times too, where peso was like at $21, which is great. I think at an all-time high, maybe this thing was at. Would have been really nice to live here around this time, where it was $25. Imagine a dollar turns to $25 because of the place you live. It's amazing.
That's crazy.
Everything was super inexpensive. I mean, it's already super inexpensive here now. I mean, we can get taxis for like 50 pesos, which is like $2. So it's super, super inexpensive. But yeah, I just look at it for conversion.
Well, the craziest thing ever in the peso was in 1994, when they had their crisis, because I don't remember the exact number, but my ex-wife, that's where she's from, is from Puebla. And
oh, okay. I got some friends from Puebla.
Yeah, I love it there. Mm-hmm. I love it. But the peso
is nice.
Yeah. The chapulines. You had chapulines? Yep, a little cricket.
Nice.
They're fried, lime juice, tahini. Oh, it's the best. It's just like barbecue chip.
Yeah. They literally come on the beach. Like there's vendors on the beach. You just walk up the beach, huge buckets full of.
So you chew into a chewy abdomen, then it's a little weird.
I can't lie, I've never tasted it. It's just too it's too far for me.
It's too crazy for it. No, they're pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, just to finish peso, so they had their crisis, and in 1 week, I'm just looking at it on a chart, it lost 35% of its value compared to the dollar. I don't remember the exact details, but her father owned a architecture business at that time and ended up going under. I mean, everybody lost everything. It was just a crazy period of time. Actually, I'll just flip it on over to the chart real quick, unless you're looking at anything else.
No, I'm done. You can go ahead and show it. It's funny you even mentioned that, because funny enough, on one of the TV shows I watched, it was Narcos, and that same thing happened. During that time, he had all his money in dollars instead of pesos. So he actually became the richest narco in the world at that particular time because of that exact incident.
Yeah. I mean, just taking a look at the peso. Yeah, let's go back to the week.
Yeah. I think it halved in a few weeks, didn't it? Did it half?
Yeah, look at that. I mean, this is 94. This is December of 94. You start the week at three and a half pesos, and then you end the week at 4.7, and then over the next subsequent.
Hey, put the RSI on top of that and see how overbought it got. Sell.
There you are. There's your RSI isolated. Almost to 100. Look at that. I mean, 98.
When did you ever see that?
Never.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But that just goes to show you how freaked out everybody was. And I heard some horror stories from her and her family about that. So, yeah, but they since have picked themselves up and found new businesses, and now they're stronger than ever. So, excellent people. Yeah. Excellent people in Mexico. One
of the reasons we moved here. I feel like they're the nicest people in the entire world. Like, everyone's super nice. People thought we were crazy when we packed up and left. I'm like, no, you guys don't understand. It's amazing over here. This is our small piece of paradise.
Definitely beautiful place. I was looking at dollar. The CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss. Flip back over to my two charts real quick.
And CAD is just chilling. It's just hanging out.
Yeah, just chill. Yep. Yeah, on the Canada Swiss, Frank, I was looking to get into this trade, like right at the start of our stream. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was the 7:30 one. But because I had this, there's a 1 hour, yeah, nice 1 hour candle. This is obviously when that report was released. Or no, I'm sorry, this was Thursday. Oh no, this was yesterday. What the heck happened yesterday for the Canada dollar? Let me see here, 1 hour. Canada Swiss. Something happened yesterday. That was the tariff. It must have been the tariff news. Anyway, so that obviously spooked the Canada dollar down at 7 o'clock our time, Central. And then, price came back up. I identified that as a demand zone candle. So it looks red, but when you turn off the S&D order block indicator, obviously it's a green candle. For whatever reason, I gotta tinker with this, but it turns it red, as you can see. But it's actually a green candle. So anyway, I had identified that zone, and then price earlier today, at 7:30 came up and just barely missed it. Look at this. It just doesn't get any closer than that. And then obviously it proceeded to move about a 3-4 to 1. Now I didn't touch it, so look, I'll probably take another stab at it. If it comes up, just touch my zone. I'll short it down to this area here, just ahead of this demand zone. So that's one of them I'm looking at for the intraday session today, something like that.
Nice.
Now again, Canada Swiss is one of the. Oh wait, it's 100 pip ATR. Never mind, that's one of the quicker ones. So yeah, I mean, I'd be interested in opening up a position if we can get a spike back up here, because essentially all this is doing is just creating a big range right between my zones. So yeah, just give me a spike, and I got my alert set right on the proximal line of it. So that's probably that's what I'm looking to potentially buy. Obviously, quite a bit of volatility because of the volume that's come in since that unemployment numbers release. So that is, and plus it's given me a -6 bearish score. So that's obviously good. Yeah, I like that one. New Zealand, Japanese yen, Dow. Let's see what those two are doing real quick. Trying to find a trade to get into. So that's some overhead resistance. It looks like 4-1 2 hour. Yeah, maybe. Well, I have an alert set on New Zealand, Japanese yen down here, but yeah, still quite a ways away from everything close from a demand zone point of view. 15. And plus, overall, it looks like it is hitting this supply zone. So yeah, I'm going to ignore that. It's high on the curve. So I just talked myself out of this trade live on the stream.
Good.
Because it's too high. Let's see. Let's go look at gold and silver, because silver, I know you said you don't trade silver. Yeah, silver and gold, they kind of have their own attitude. I've
do,
come to realize,
especially gold.
Yeah, you would think that they would be fairly similar, but I mean, it's not always the case. So, but yeah, taking a look at silver, I mean, it's been up pretty good too. Not like gold, but gold's just been crazy. So silver kind of took a little bit of a break while gold was still going parabolic. But if I'm looking at this, I'm sorry, I'm still on a weekly over there. Let's go back to my daily. There we go. That looks better. So silver, I do have a zone in this area. Let me do this. Right up this zone here. That's one of interest. Do I have anything a little higher? No, not really. Yeah, I think I might just be more interested in a big pullback on silver as well. Maybe let's get rid of that old fib line there. if I put this former resistance line, now I'm not really seeing anything in this area. Let's take a look. 1 hour. Don't really like that as a zone. Yeah, I mean, if I'm buying up here, I'm just chasing because it's too dang high. I need a retracement on this one. I mean, I still have that. I think I had an alert set on this area. Yeah, right there. An alert set there because that's a zone within a zone. Obviously, it's a day, but on a 1 hour, I think I had a 1 hour demand zone. So that's quite a ways down. Probably not going to happen anytime soon. Yeah, silver's just too expensive. I mean, I might be interested if we get a retracement down into this demand zone because I do like that there's 4 big green candles coming out of that. So that shows some pretty good, pretty good price movement. So I'm just going to throw an alert on that area, and I'm going to push it out to probably a couple weeks. We'll send that one out for a couple weeks. That way I don't forget about it. It's just like my bills and everything I pay monthly. If I don't put it on my calendar, I'm going to forget. Same thing with alerts. And then gold, yeah, let's take one more look. So I do have this area down here. Yeah, it's still quite a ways away. I'm going to add an alert to that one so I don't forget. Trying to find something to trade, fellas.
Yeah, we're cutting it close here. I'm going to end up jumping out of this in CAD. It's just hanging out too much for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm glad I didn't get in NU because it sure went the other way. See what happens when you follow your rules? You don't get burned.
We call ourselves a weenie when we're not breaking it, and then when we don't break it, we praise ourselves, right?
Exactly.
10 minutes. Yeah, I don't see anything on a 5 minute. I mean, gold's giving me a nice score of a 6 right here. So, I mean, I definitely like the fundamental score, and it's not near as high on the curve as the silver was. So I'd be a little more happy to take this. Maybe in this area. Let me see. Well, no, that's 1, 2 candles coming out. I didn't really like the way it looked on a 5 minute either. Let's look down here. A bunch of green candles in a row. What's that look like on a 15? Maybe take a stab at it in this area here. Possibly. I mean, I do have a lot of green candles coming out. Some decent. I don't know. We might take a look at that. It's not the greatest of zones, but it's at least somewhere I can put an alert on it.
Right.
And literally kill that alert at the end of the day. I'll just restart it next week. And then, yeah, the Bitcoin idea that we were talking about, it's just parabolic. If I were to get into this trade, same thing. I'd want to see a bit of a retracement. Now on a 2 hour time frame, it looks like this demand zone here is the sexiest looking one. And I say that because look at that big volume spread analysis candle at the bottom, leaving that zone. So that tells me there's got to be some filled orders in that area. Obviously, a price chart is filled orders, but where you see filled orders, you can see the likelihood of other unfilled orders. And anytime you see a big, gigantic push like that, there's a bunch of people that wished they had gotten in, and they'll be wanting to get in and get price returns. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on that point as well. Intraday is just too high for my taste. That's just some expensive crab legs. I mean, this zone looked like it's wanting to try to work out on a 10 minute time frame. But yeah, I just don't want to pay 100% on crab legs. I want them 50% off.
Right.
50% off. What do you think, Howard?
Give me my discount.
Yeah,
you like discounts too?
I like a discount, I got to say.
Yeah.
And I think on some of these currencies we've had a bit of a discount for the last week or so. So I think we're getting pretty close to bargain basement on selling dollars.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's just some dead cat bounces, like you said earlier. Just taking another look at the U.S. economic heat map real quick. This week, anytime you see something in yellow, it's within the last 7 days. So, yeah, we've had some bullish reporting, obviously, for the jobless claims. Looks like they put the MBA mortgage on here report. I got to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about that report, so I'm going to have to study it. But, yeah, dollar's trying to turn around. It's trying. I mean, you take a look at the Dixie. Yeah, it's just, anytime you read a news article, especially on whatever, Yahoo or finance, whatever, yeah, they always word it in a way that it's the end of the world. Oh, it's going to the moon, or oh, everything's going down to zero. It's like when you see that,
it's like it's their job to do that or something.
just simply pull up your chart, go to a daily time frame, and you can see that overall is pretty good. Oh wait, that's a 10-minute. I'm on the wrong time frame. Or bad, right? But they'll talk about this is good, so people will get excited about buying. They're creating Howard's dead cat bounce, only for price to come up to a resistance level and then turn over on them. So that's why I say just zoom out on a chart, get the full picture, and don't only look at the 5-minute. You can trade from your 5 minutes and the 15 minutes, and I love doing it as well. But yeah, it's always good to get the full information when you're looking at trends, especially in curves, buying and selling high and low on the curve with the Hungarian flag.
100%.
You got anything?
I'm going to hold on to this NCAD. I do just want to let people know that I will not be holding this weekend, no matter what. At 3:55 Eastern, I will be closing this trade. I already have an alarm set. I got an alarm set for every Friday to go off at 3:55 Eastern that says close all open trades. So yeah, I will not be holding on to this, guys. I'm gonna hold on to it for the rest of the day because it still looks good, but don't hold this trade over the weekend.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
You never know. You never know. You could get some nasty gaps over the weekend, huh?
Yes.
I've chanced a few weekend trades and haven't gotten destroyed yet by a gap, but definitely with this crazy news, like the news climate we're in with all the tariffs, it's just so scary to hold stuff open. And not to mention the war overseas, even though Ukraine and Russia, they're still doing their thing, but you never know. Israel, Iran, they could turn around and spark. Somebody could drop a match, drop some kerosene on it. You never know. So it's just a scary time to leave stuff open over. For me personally.
You definitely can't hold over the weekend. To me, it's Bitcoin. That thing has a mind of its own.
I'm saying that as a
way too many gaps.
Yeah.
I guess the good thing about Bitcoin at the weekend is you can actually trade it. You don't have to wait for the gap on Monday morning.
That's true.
Yeah. See, which is bad if you're Friday evening, you want to let loose, have a drink or two, and then you get that little extra courage. You're like, I'm gonna go buy Bitcoin.
That's your weekend done.
Right.
It's good to get rid of your chart. That wasn't my weekend last week, and that was a sober decision. But I'm like, I lucked out on that one. But yeah, that is kind of nice. Bitcoin is 24/7 open over the weekend, so you can just get in and out ASAP if you got some issues or something arises somewhere throughout the world. But yeah, whenever you're going out with your friends, just don't leave your laptop at home. Leave your smartphone at home. You don't need to be buying and selling. You gotta have a clear head to make those types of decisions. Yeah, guys, just like yesterday, something's probably going to hit as soon as the stream hits. So if it does, I'll obviously update it on the Discord like I do. So
nice.
Yeah, that's about all I can think of at the moment. Howard, you got any last 3 minutes? We got thoughts? 2.5 minutes?
Yeah, just a kind of a parting shot. A chart that I like to show every so often is that long-term thing with the political cycle on the dollar.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how this thing works. It works like clockwork, and it has done for many, many years. So basically, blue dollar up, red dollar down, and we're in early stages of red.
Ah, wow. That's
for whatever reason. Yeah, for whatever reason. I think it's because the Republicans like to try and stimulate the economy, and they don't mind a weaker currency. But for whatever reason, it works. So be prepared for a lower dollar over the next 3.5 years at least.
Wow, that's interesting.
Dang it. That's not good really for the peso.
Cool. No. Right. Yeah, you're true. That's true. That's interesting. Well, you just gave me some homework, Howard. I'm gonna go dig that up myself and study that up.
Yeah, check it out. All the way back to 1971 when Nixon took it off the gold standard.
Gold standard. Yeah. You think we'll ever be back on it?
No.
Nope.
No. Definitely not.
We love the free.
But remember, in his speech, he said temporary suspending. Here we are, 50 years later, and it's still
50
temporary.
years later,
I guess.
Yeah.
I was watching the history of that a while. Pretty interesting. But yeah, temporary suspension. Yeah. I guess we've reached the end. We got 30 seconds. Michael, any parting thoughts?
No, I just want to let people know. I'll do the same thing. I like your idea of posting in the Discord.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm definitely gonna hold on to NCAD. We still got a time for it to run. It's only 10. But yeah, I will be closing it for sure, guys, and I'll post in the Discord when I do. But yeah, don't hold this trade over the weekend, please.
Yeah, be careful. Next group, gents, will be 15 minutes, I think, from now. So stay tuned. Have a great day, everybody.
Yes,
cheers.
Yes. All right, guys. Check you next week.
All right.
Hello, everyone. Walter and Stephen, we haven't met. How are you doing?
Hey. How you doing, Paul? You okay, Stephen?
Can you hear us okay, Stephen?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. It's all good.
Can you hear me, Paul?
There we go.
Okay, so
I'm having
thanks
little
for...
computer issues here, everybody.
Sorry, what did you say, Stephen?
I'm having a couple of computer issues here, getting connected here. Give me a second. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Yeah, we're fantastic. How are you guys doing? Can you guys hear me clearly, by the way? I feel like there's
Yes.
a bit of a lag.
There is a bit of a lag, yes.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a lag, but I can hear you clearly.
Okay, so
Awesome.
Stephen, it's
Awesome.
great to
Hope
see
you guys are good.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you trade?
I'm a NASDAQ trader, and it's nice to meet you guys as well. I've been trading for a little over 5 years now. I've known about the markets for many more, but diligently trading and learning how to be an intraday trader and officially being a full-time trader 5 years now. Yeah, really dug deep in. I was introduced to the markets or addicted to the markets, became addicted to the markets back in 2020, early 2020. Everything went down. My dad gave me a phone call and said, "You still dabbling with the stock market?" And I'm like, "Yeah, here and there, crypto this, crypto that, whatever." And he's like, "I'll give you $500, and then you get $500, and we're gonna buy something because everything went down. We're gonna make a bunch of money, and you could use it to buy your house. I don't care, keep it." So we did. We took $1,000, took it to about $12,800. I used it as part of the down payment on my house, and ever since then I've been intraday trading, and I've been successful at it for the past 2 years.
Oh, that's great. Are you looking at any charts at the moment? You got any setups which you're looking to come into play?
So for the trader that I am, I'm a pre-market trader. So I generally get all my work done around 8 a.m. New York, and after it into the initial bond market data release that happens about 30 minutes after that. So I'm usually trying to get into my trades then. I did get into a short sell-off in the sell-off at 8:18 a.m. and caught that little drop, 10 points. Made my $200 and called it.
Can we take a look at that?
Then,
Can we share your screen? And
we have a
play?
Yeah, let me share my screen here. Let me I'm new to VMix. Let me that was not it.
Yeah, so go to Zoom, click share. And then the back end will put it up for us.
Oh yeah, I gotta go. Zoom.
You've got the wrong one. I mean, this is my screen. I'll stop sharing mine actually, and then that way,
yeah, we just need to bring up Stephen.
Easier for them to identify which one yours is. Paul, we have the same mug, by the way. I think I'm not sure if it's the same type, but I saw yours is similar to mine.
It's very similar. Mine is very unique. This was a present from my other half. It's a bit of triangle, a little less curved than yours. It's one of my favorite mugs. But yes, I do like the look of yours for sure.
There's my screen.
There we go. Always good to get a bit of coffee talking.
I like the story behind. Oh yeah. I'm
right,
actually having tea instead of coffee today.
Yeah, we got it, Stephen. Thank you. Go for it.
Excellent. So here, zoom in a little bit. I had caught the sell-off here on my own model. So it came down, took my 10 points right as this candle came down in here. Took my 10 points. I was out. And knowing that I was coming into this trade, coming into this session, I ultimately was bullish, and I did want to be bullish down in this area. So as you can see, I took a practice trade since I are not going to risk more capital because I've already made my money for the day. Took a practice trade to see if I could walk it back up. Not sure. I believe.
see how that moves. Yes, I did share the right. I did click the right button. Just let the screen up here. Apologies. You also see over here on this new screen, I have my have the trade marked out here where the TP was and where the stop loss was. It's a 3-hour trade from my entry. So we'll go back. That was all annotated. So it never came down on my stop loss. The stop loss was just below this mark here. So it was like, let's see, 84.60 is like it was like $650 stop loss to make $1,600. Came up here and took profit. Got pretty close to to the take profit there at open. Open, shot up, had to deal with the drawdown. But this was a set and forget. So I wasn't even watching the charts at this. This was set it and forget it. My stop's down here, my target's up here. The more time I spend with them, more chance I'm probably going to screw it up. Really, that's kind of me just being honest about trading. Currently, right now, going through a couple different charts. This is kind of a no touchstone for me. This is around the market. So up here in this area where we topped recently, just topped. This is about market open, 1800 open, Asia open. That's usually a no touchstone for me around in this area because where we can start seeing expansion for the day. Is the day gonna expand up or down away from its price? You know?
Yeah, sorry, I've got some audio issues. We're having quite a bit of difficulty hearing you, Stephen.
Apologies. Yeah, my headphones and everything weren't I weren't able to get them hooked up before the stream here today. So I don't know if that's part of the issue. Because unfortunately, I am using my my computer mic.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe let's hand back to Walter. Have you have a look at what you're looking at while we try and get some technical issues sorted out? Does that work, Walter? You share your screen. And see
Yeah,
what,
for sure, for sure.
We'll try and come back
so
to you,
I'm just sharing
Stephen.
my screen now.
No problem.
All right. I mean, today was a very nice end of the week. It's been a very good week, actually. Bitcoin did its thing. Is now sitting from the 17. Anticipating it to get to 120. That's sort of like the next target level. But gold, oh man, this was absolutely amazing today. So I was in a long position on this from Asia. So I got into this long position in Asia session. The market came down, broke outside of the range, retested the order block, and then rallied. Now I'm also a little bit bummed out at this because so I had like my thesis at the start of the session. So when I did my analysis, that this is a very, very classic structure. So the idea was the daily had given a nice little break to the upside, retested this low, and anticipating price to take out this prior daily high. Now, what I did not anticipate or expect was for the market to take out that daily high today. I thought perhaps the market would take out this previous daily high. This was the high of the week. So I was anticipating the market to essentially take out the high of the week today. This was my primary objective. And then I was thinking, okay, then on Monday, we could see a continuation towards the high of last week, right? Rather what we've seen, obviously, is sort of a very strong rally where the market obviously took out not only the week's high, but it also took out last week's high as well. So it's a very, very strong move on gold today. So bullish was the bias towards that high to complete this sort of micro daily bullish pattern. Now, with regards to, of course, like are we going to see a trade sort of like within, I don't know, this session? In all honesty, the trade that would have been caught in New York has already happened, because again, like this will have been a very simple continuation play where the market gave this nice break of order block, and then it would just been a nice break retest continuation trade where you'd have placed the pendant at the order block, stop below the low. Of course, the target would have been high. For now, I do see the potential of a continuation if, for example, let's say the market creates a relative equal high at the daily high. We could see the market pull back into this prior range, and this would form another opportunity to go long, where the market could simply pull back, retest this price, and then that would present an opportunity for some sort of like continuation towards price could break above that daily high. But that's a big if, because right now it does look like market will break above the high, and the moment that happens, the best move would be to sort of correction before engaging in any sort of like continuation or reversal setup. So that's my bias on daily. So on gold anyways. So gold for me was bullish today. But that's not going to be the same next week, because next week I'm actually anticipating a bearish continuation. Because again, to that sort of like longer term picture that I have on the weekly. So this is just the general picture that I've been reiterating for like the past couple of weeks, where gold has taken out these prior daily highs. So this is a previous buy side objective. And then after that, we saw a very strong move into the range. And of course, at the close of today's candle, right, we're going to have a new swing low formed. So at that point, this new low would be my new target for sell side pull. So what I will be anticipating in the coming days ahead would be essentially for gold to, so if I do see like a weakening of price at the start of next week, i.e. price takes out the daily, we see a sharp inflection into the range, and that if a 1 hour break of structure to the downside, then for me, that would be the beginning of a much more sustained downward move towards that week. So that would be something I'll be sort of anticipating from next week. But yeah, so that's it for gold anyways for today. Like the move has already happened at this point, like unless you get Asia session where that was the perfect entry opportunity for this. A London session had another entry opportunity where the market broke and retested this bullish order block and then rallied. Obviously, York Open also had another opportunity down here, but beyond that, like that's it. Like it's pretty much tapped out. The market is looking to complete this bullish rally by taking out that daily high, and then from there onwards, we can anticipate some sort of correction. I'm not sure if you had anything to add to this, Paul, or sort of any questions. I know also Stephen as well.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, sorry, Stephen, we had to kind of mute your mic a little bit because we're getting a bit of feedback. I apologize for that. Feel free to chip in. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I'm just trying to make sense of what's going on in the markets this weekend, but no, I can't disagree with that for sure. And gosh, got an alert. Sorry about that. Yeah, Stephen, you got anything to add?
That's a nice alert sound.
Yeah.
No, I like what Walter said about it coming for that pullback after it's hitting these highs. There's gold thrives on uncertainty because that's a safe haven, and there's really not as much uncertainty I think as people believe right now. So I will recognize a pullback coming off the all-time highs like right now. NASDAQ's pulling back hard though. NASDAQ just taking heat. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the fact. Yes, gold does thrive off uncertainty, but right now we are in interesting times. Again, I'm just going to feed back to the dollar, which I did sort of like last week. Well, at the start of this week, actually, it seems like it's been a while now, but it was only last week. Where for the dollar, my bias on this is very firmly bullish. So I am anticipating the dollar to be a nice bullish rally. Again, at the end of this month, anticipating a bullish close, ideally within the range. So if we do see this monthly candle goes back into this prior range, then that would give me a lot of a very strong confirmation that the dollar would likely be trading within this range or accumulatory up until the end of the year. But of course, if we do see a bullish dollar, like obviously, yes, right now we are seeing a bullish gold, which kind of goes against that. But I do see like next week, the beginning of a bearish corrective move on gold to the downside. And that would definitely be something that I'll be looking to. So sort of like, but yeah, this is about if only I had confidence in price given that big move today. I would have. This is like another $4,000 that I've lost out on today because I already made $5,000 on this initial trade. This is another $4,000 that I've left on the table for this bigger move. But such is life, you know. Such. Yeah. So it's been like it's just generally, man. Like gold has just been moving so beautifully these past few days. Like this, I really don't have anything much to say beyond that. Like Monday, for example, there was this perfect shorts trade where the market gave a very clean break to the downside, retested, came back up to retest this order block, stop above the high, and again it's like a very strong move down to this prior low. So this is the low of last week, and then the market accumulated for a bit, and then going into like Wednesday, so the midweek move. Gold gave this very nice bullish correction to the ups. Yesterday, the market didn't really do much. I did enter a sell opportunity, so I entered a short position to scratch out of this at the end of the day because I was anticipating the market to trade towards this H1 low, but it didn't. There wasn't a lot of momentum, so end of day, I just closed out this trade in a little bit of profit. And then today, after this break above this high, the continuation was obvious to the upside. So that was a very sort of easy trade to take. So yeah, like gold is the structure, the technical patterns has been absolutely spot on these past few days. We can only hope this continues into next week, hey? But yeah.
So are you
Paul,
anticipating a bit of a retest, a bit of a pullback for gold?
Yeah. So next week I'm anticipating a pullback to the downside. So I'm anticipating. So now the price has taken out this higher daily target. From here onwards, like again, I want to see how this candle closes. But if let's say this candle closes above the state daily high, the next week I'm fairly confident on Monday we are going to be we should start seeing a decline. So either Monday we could see the market sort of accumulate for the whole session. And then Tuesday we see the beginning of that decline, or Monday we just see a railway track. So the Monday candle closes back down of today's candle, and then obviously Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday we can anticipate a continuation to the downside. But today was my last. So we've had three. So one thing again, with gold and with a lot of FX pairs is something known as 3 days of rally and 3 days of drop. So there were times when the market would give 3 consecutive days of rise. After that, you can anticipate the next day after that will be a sort of a correction. We've had 3 days of rise. We can anticipate that correction. It's just something I like a part of my daily analysis. Again, same thing. Yeah, 3 days of drop side. The day after that, we saw a bullish correction, and we had 3 days of drop. The next day, a bullish correction. So rules are free, right? So we had 3 consecutive days of price rallying. So on Monday, we're either going to have a contraction, meaning the market will just accumulate anywhere for the whole session, or we're going to have a correction to the downside. So yeah, so that's why I'm bummed out, but I'm also like, whatever I lost today, I'll make it back on Monday, because if I do get a very clean setup on Monday, then that will be another easy trade to take. Again, I'm not just going to be automatically selling. I do want to see a very strong sell structure on the 15 minutes and the 30 minutes time frame.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for that.
But yeah, let's talk about gold, Paul. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Sorry, Bitcoin has been a nice win today.
Yeah, I mean, look, the last 2 weeks, if you look back on the coverage videos which I was creating on Hola Prime X, it was all, this is coming, this is happening, it's all lining up. And again, It's not a prediction. I don't predict. It's simply the TA is lining up, and it did line up, and then we've had the move. And this is the whole game, right? Now, the problem, which, I mean, I'll get into this in a little bit, but when this happens, your approach to trading crypto has to change. And my trading strategy over the last few, 6 months to a year has been completely different to what now potentially this requires if bullish momentum continues. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But what do you see Bitcoin doing next? Do you see it ascending higher, or do you see it giving us quite a nice retest of the range we've just broken out of? What's your view on this?
Well, the next target is 120K. So this is the next psychological target, because price is currently in discovery mode, and when it's in discovery mode, quarter point numbers, these psychological numbers tend to be what price would gravitate towards to. But before that, I mean, after, let's say, like, price gets close to it, or even like hits it and trades beyond that, I'm anticipating a correction. I'm anticipating because we've had 3 days of price rallying, and today is of the rally, right? And again, just back to that 3 days of rally and reverting, a lot of the time after price rallies for 3 consecutive days, you are going to see a correction. So 3 days of rally, we're on that day 4, sort of like pushing beyond this point. So again, I will not be surprised if Bitcoin just hold its level on Saturday, and then Sunday we see a correction. And then on the 4-hour, when it comes to cycles, Bitcoin is at the end of that bullish cycle right now. So the end of the cycle is usually the most aggressive. And so right now it is at the end of the cycle. So again, I do think a correction is imminent, but in the past, like you said, like when Bitcoin is in price discovery as it is now, you cannot treat it in the same way as you treated it when it was trading within a range or when it was trading within familiar territories. At this point, price can be incredibly unpredictable. Like, there is a good chance Bitcoin could just simply keep on rallying for days on end with very little pullbacks. And then all of a sudden, when you least expect it, we then see a very aggressive drop to the downside. So correction is coming, yes, but it's in price.
As soon as you buy, that's when it's going to correct.
Sorry?
That's when it corrects. As soon as you decide
Stephen,
to get in, that's when it's going to correct. Right?
As soon as you start to buy, that's when a correction happens, right?
I mean, Stephen, what's your exposure to crypto? Have you traded Bitcoin before?
I'm a holder. I don't trade like in the futures or anything with crypto in that sense. I buy, I hold. So I have some Bitcoin. My wife has some Bitcoin. I have some Dogecoin. She just has some Bitcoin. But I have some Dogecoin. I have some Shibcoin. I got Bitcoin. I got some other randoms, just basically waiting for, is it going to moon or is it not? More of a gambling kind of play rather than a trading kind of play. Bitcoin, I would say, would be an actual trade. It would be an actual kind of strategy, buying and holding that, because I do see Bitcoin going up and up and up and not stopping, just like the S&P 500 idea. It's just the same kind of investment to me. I have some Bitcoin originally in the 12K. Obviously I've cost averaged over time, dollar cost averaged over time, but I do have Bitcoin very cheap myself. My wife also has it very cheap because she forgot about it. So she has a little over 3 coins. She got gambling, gambling on Super Bowls, many, many years ago. And then she's like, I think I might have something. And I helped her recover it. And so now we have that. But yeah, I'm buy and hold on crypto.
She wasn't interested in Dogecoin, though? She wasn't interested in Doge?
No, well, she's not really interested in trading and all that stuff and all this as it is. She's got her own separate thing. But the reason she had gotten it was she had to buy Bitcoin to deposit into a trading or a gambling account, where here in the States at the time, it wasn't legal to gamble, so where she was, so she had to gamble with Bitcoin. and then she forgot about it. Then she won her bets on Super Bowl and for years forgot it was in that account sitting there. So we got it.
I would love that. I would love to wake up, because I know exactly where my investments are. I know exactly what price they are. I would love just to wake up one morning and just remember I had a bag of something like 10 years ago, and it's now worth hundreds
a bag of money
Oh,
just
yeah.
laying around, right? Yeah.
I'm just
So I have myself accumulated about 3/4 of a coin myself. So and that and some since down at the 12K mark. Bought some around the 60 mark after we had 100K. Just like Walter was saying with the psychological levels and everything with Bitcoin. Let me pull up my chart so I can see what I'm talking here. When we came in and pulled back.
Stephen's chart, please, back end. Thank you. Let's try that. Thank you, guys.
Walter's screen froze on me here.
I think he's just standing still. That's all he's doing. It's still the feed. He's just standing still.
But
so just bring up Stephen
when we
chart, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Back end, are we able to show Stephen's chart, please? Thank you.
My chart is sharing.
Just working all the bugs out, guys. Thanks for bearing with us while we upgrade everything. There we go. Good job. Thanks, team. Okay, we got it. Thanks, team. Go for it.
Excellent. I guess I don't think anybody really minds that it's yellow back here right now. So So I've been watching. So in here is where I got some at 60K at some of these lows. One of these lows, I couldn't tell you exactly what area of these lows, but looking at the resistance here, I had accumulated some more in, and then I've been in since the rise. So this is when I originally got in back in 2020 around the 12K mark. So 12K mark, that's when I originally got in, and then I just watched my investment for a long period of time. And then when it crashed back down, it was like, what a hole. But at this point, I'd gotten so scared that it was never going to recover that I was like, I don't want to buy more. So down here, I had that fear. I don't want to buy more. I'll just hold what I have. And up we go, and now we 10x, right? As we got here and broke these highs and created the channel, once the channel was prevalent, I bought. Now, the psychological levels I was speaking of was down here at this 80. 80 is a big institutional level, major institutional level. At least here in the stock market, and the way I was taught was a lot of stocks when they break out, say they're the Planter. Look at Planter.
Yeah.
It takes off, goes up, and it breaks 80. It tests 100, comes back to 80, accumulates, and that's when it goes bye-bye. NVIDIA did the same thing. So 80 is a big institutional level. So when Bitcoin broke 100K and pulled back to the 80s, I added some more. I bought some more, knowing that because we are getting that institutional adoption, we are getting ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs, which I also hold some Bitcoin ETFs in the long term in my Schwab account. So when we got to that 80 level, it was long calls master, and it was buy more Bitcoin. Pretty much. And up we go.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I bought in was when it was 6K, and I bought it at the beginning of the previous cycle. I did watch it dip to 3.5, and just had plenty of money, could have bought loads, and I didn't because I was relatively new to trading, and I was concerned, of course, about the talk about going, like you just said, you didn't want to buy it that low. You're worried it's going to go to zero, but now obviously I'm a little bit more experienced. I would have never made that mistake again. But yeah, I mean, it's the most important thing which people will be asking themselves about Bitcoin right now is they'll be asking whether or not, where is it going to stop? When do they sell if they've bought it, etc., etc. Now, the one thing, we'll go over this in a moment when I share my charts. I'll just have a look at the big picture for Bitcoin, which I think is today. But the reality is, you don't need to be a pro trader to know when to exit a position with Bitcoin. It's very simple, to be honest. You will look at the higher time frames, right? And you will simply wait for a lower high, the first indication of a trend change on these higher time frames, the weekly maybe for sure, right? And then that you can start to scale out of your position. It's essentially the bell curve it's the markup, distribution, markdown. And it's really straightforward for everyone to identify that. And one of the biggest problems we have in crypto is people will ignore the bell curve and they'll think, oh, it's green, Dogecoin's going green, and they'll just try and jump in here when really they should have come back in much lower down. And that's kind of the problem. And the other problem is people just really struggle to sell because of FOMO. They'll be like, I know I need to sell. I know I need to take profits. I mean, I've made 150K. I know I need to lock this in. But some little voice in their head is like, it could go 200, right? And what I would say to people, yeah, it'll go higher. It'll go, come on, it'll go higher. Come on, stay with it. And I think you've got to realize that you never lose. You never lose if you just lock in profits. You can't lose, right? You just can't. And I think this is the mentality people have in crypto. So it's really interesting to hear your story, Stephen, because I think it's, obviously, I think a lot of people would love to have as much Bitcoin as you do. But I suppose you want to have as much Bitcoin as MicroStrategy, right?
Yeah, right. I would love to. So like I said, with the crypto, I am a buy and hold kind of guy, like you said, with Dogecoin even. I've been buying Dogecoin for many years now, but it's just $5 here, $10 there, $5 here, $10 there. So I'm not like launching massive amounts of capital into the crypto, right? Bitcoin I did, but for Doge and SHIB and stuff, I'm just slowly accumulating at the low ends of those curves. Every time we dip down, I buy a little bit more. Starts pushing highs, I just leave it alone and let it keep pushing highs. And then when it pulls back a little bit, hey, let me throw another $20 at this and another $20 at that. But it's the same thing. I'm treating it like a 401k because now over so many years, I got a lot of money built up. I got a lot of money that's just been saved and it's been riding this wave and slowly going up. And it's just treating it like a traditional fund almost.
Yeah,
but not trying to go too wild and crazy into it and put all my eggs in one basket. I still have a Schwab, I still have a Schwab account with.
Yeah. Diversification is very important. There'll be a lot of people right now looking at Bitcoin and they'll be trying to go and buy all of their assets, jump into Cardano, XRP, all of these things, and it's like. I'll explain in a minute what my approach, but it's very important to recognize there'll always be an opportunity. There'll always be another opportunity, right? And if you approach the market that way, and even if, say, you've got your heart set on entering Dogecoin and it just doesn't give you an entrance, there's plenty of other assets or meme coins even, which will give you the same gains, which haven't moved yet. So you mustn't, be, oh, I need to have Doge. Well, you could have Pepe. You could have dog with hat. I mean, there's no problem, right? They all still have the same level of volatility. So, back end, do you think we could there's a car. Could we share my trading view, please? And just have a quick look at what the market's doing. Thank you, back end.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's just see if we can get my chart up.
Beautiful. Oh, we're still looking at my charts.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the team to.
Ethereum has been on such a run, hasn't it? Since we're talking crypto, Ethereum has been on a nice, beautiful bounce back run. We're not looking at it. We're looking at an ETF for Ethereum right here that I'm in. But man, Ethereum's had such a great rally. since the lows of April.
Well, finally, if you're doing something, you know, it's sort of just been there like absolutely nothing for a long time.
Yes, it's pretty much has been that, exactly just that right here in this range, dip down, dip up, down, and then we start crashing. You know, everything started crashing down at the beginning of the year and all that. The big pullback, big correction, but it's recovered very nicely with it. It didn't stay down at the lows. Like I was kind of expecting it to consolidate down here for a while and not come back up. So it is very nice to see that I'm in some ETFs.
Yeah. Well, I'll take a look at Ethereum. That's cool. Back end, could we put my chart up, please? Thank you so much.
I'll stop my share whenever your screen comes up. I guess I can stop now.
Anticipation. Okay, so it's been a bit of a crazy day. So let's just let's start where you. Let's look at where you got off. Now this is Ethereum. Now I think this is the GBP pair. For whatever reason, let's see if I've got a better chart. Here we go. Here's USD daily. Right. Yeah. So this is the big picture for Ethereum. Essentially, just zoom out. We've been working our way in this pattern previously. This is the top of the previous bull cycle. Now you'll notice that the interesting thing about Ethereum, it's very representative of the altcoin market. Now, the last cycle, we had two tops for Bitcoin, which were pretty much exactly the same. I'll just bring up the long-term chart just to kind of show you if I can. A little bit disorganized today. Let's just load that up for you so I can show you what I'm talking about. Let's see if I can find it. Here we go. That's the one, 3-day log scale. So, and helpfully on the wrong time frame. Here we go. Right, let's see if we can get this going. Right, here we go. Okay, that's not quite the chart I wanted, but it'll do for now. So, no, that's not the chart I wanted. Let's try another one. Here we go. Apologies for that. There's a bit of a stutter at my end, a bit of delay. I apologize. Let's just find it. No, can't seem to find it. That's a bit strange. Hang on. Let's load this up. Bitcoin. Where are we? Is this the one? No, okay. Well, okay. I can't find it, but anyway, let's just talk about it. There's too many charts open today. Super. Here we go. So where's Ethereum?
Charts. This is normal for you, Paul. This is like a normal for you.
Yeah, but normally for me, at least have like the charts I need right on the right. But it's not organized today. So basically, we had two peaks from Bitcoin long term, and they were pretty much even, right, around the same price, around 69K. You'll notice that the two peaks for Ethereum, representative of the altcoin market, were not equal. Now, what typically happens? Yeah, Bitcoin will have its run up, and then it came back down, and then the altcoins had their day as Bitcoin was doing the second peak. So we had more of a peak from Ethereum than we did the first time. So you look at Ethereum and you want to see the health of the altcoin market and potentially the beginning of a cascade where money will start dripping into profits from Bitcoin trades will start dripping into the top 10 cryptos, including Ethereum, of course. And then if the market continues to be bullish, they'll then trickle down to the other altcoins. And then eventually, if the market is sustained bullish over a period of months, they'll enter the low caps and then everything goes to the moon. So looking at Ethereum now and this recovery we had from a very bleak time in April, you can see how the narrative has fast changed, because this, of course, was kind of the highest point we got at the end of last year, following the kind of run from the November election. And this, of course, was where when Bitcoin broke 69K, its previous all-time highs, and this is where we need to be. So really for Ethereum, this is just a consolidation space of sorts down here, and this is ultimately where we should be going, right? This is ultimately what I expect from Ethereum. I mean, to suggest Ethereum is going to 100x would be ridiculous, but can Ethereum 5x, 6x? Sure it can. And this is kind of what we should be looking for. I mean, 10K minimum, I'm thinking, for Ethereum if we have a bullish cycle. So this is a good move. It's a nice recovery. Finally, we can consider this a bear trap. But let's just try and figure out what is going on exactly with Bitcoin and how do we manage this. So this is Bitcoin's 6-hour chart, and this is essentially the flag we've been looking at. And we've now had the break above this gray area. And as I said, the second we break above this gray area, we're going to hit all-time highs. And if we break them, it's going to be a lot of bullish momentum. Now we're above the 1.272 fib level. So where can we base out? So I think we can expect certainly. I mean, I was talking to James about this today. He feels that. Sorry, Stephen, my friend. If you could just mute your mic for a second. There's a lot of feedback, my friend. Apologies for that. Is that all right? Thanks. And I think we can. Sorry, bud. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Steve, is it all right to just mute your mic for a second, my friend? There's quite a lot of feedback. All right, that's cool. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Right, so I was talking to James about this today, and he feels that there's a lot of momentum, and we could see continued moves higher from here. But as a trader, how do we make sense of this? Well, firstly, we haven't seen a move higher yet, so we can't, of course, act on that. Now, right now, the most logical place for a retrace is exactly where we've took off from, which is previous all-time highs, right? And I can see a retrace from this level. Maybe we have something like this, and then eventually it comes back down and we range around this area. But this is what I will be looking for. Now, if the price action finds a base here and then ascends higher, then I'll have to reevaluate that. But right now, we've had a breakout, and my play would always be to come in on the bullish retest. And this is a nice move with volume, right? Not exceptional volume, if you notice. If you look, it's not exceptional, but it is some volume. And that could also give you a clue that potentially we need to find a base first before moving higher. So a pinch of salt, I think, with all the bullish fervor right now. And it's very important. We've had this good move now, and now we need to just see what the next move is, because you've got to ask yourself this question. What if Bitcoin doesn't stop? How do we trade that? So imagine just Bitcoin does this, right? It just keeps going. How do we trade that? It's not giving us any structure which we can trade off other than trying to enter shorts as the house of cards gets higher, right? So you need to be a splash of cold water on your face. And when you're looking at some altcoins which are moving now, which we'll look at in a second, you have to splash some cold water on your face and just remind yourself that, great, we've had a bullish signal, we've had a bullish move, which means we're going to have more buyers coming in when it retests, when it comes back down, and that's where you want to be. So it's very important just to wait and see and not get carried away with all the stuff. Because I mean, I posted a video just today, which on the thumbnail it was talking about Samsung Mao's prediction of $1 million Bitcoin this year. Right. So when all of that fervor is going around, it's very difficult to maintain a sense of equilibrium. But if we just jump into a couple of altcoins, which I was trying to trade this week, and we'll see exactly what's happening. So let's just try and find it. This was HBAR. Now, what do you say? Sorry.
I said 1 million by the end of the year would be intense. Change my life.
Intense, yeah. I mean, it would change your life, and for you, I genuinely hope that happens, right? But
me too. Me too.
Yeah,
that's like you said. What could you do to trade the Bitcoin? I'm doing it. I'm holding, buying and holding. You know, I haven't gotten into the futures side of it. You know, trading both sides of that market, just buying lows, little bits at a time. That's best way. I feel like with crypto, because it's so it's unregulated, so it's still uncertain about everything that's going on. But the hype is so strong. I have to be there. I gotta be there.
So. Well, look, my advice to you, Stephen, is really straightforward, right? Because I don't think we're going to have a $1 million Bitcoin this year, but I do believe that it will reach $1 million at some point. And because you've got a sizable bag, it's just a waiting game. You're going to have that boat for sure, right? I feel it. So it's just holding it. Yeah. Okay, so this was HBAR, and this was a trade I was looking to get in this week, along with another one. Now, I cancelled that order because obviously the market conditions have changed. Because is everything okay? Can everyone hear me all right? Is that fine? Something weird's happening. Yeah, sorry. Okay, thanks. So I was, of course, very cautious with this trade just last week, just earlier in the week. And I was very worried, of course, that because the altcoin market is suffering a little bit, we're going to have some perilous price action. Now, that the narrative has completely changed, as you can see from this bullish move. So the premise of my trade is completely invalidated, not because of a bearish idea, but because of a super bullish idea now. So me waiting for H bar to come back down for this potential entrance, it's not in play anymore. So therefore, I'm moving on. And likewise, if we look at my peanut trade, which is still in play, which I still have an order on the Hola Prime exchange. This again is like, okay, so I have a lot more confidence trying to come in down at this level now, but a lot of people will be looking to chase this. But as you can see, basic trend, a basic resistant lines is here, and we're right below it. So this area is ripe to come in on still, with the golden cross happening with these moving averages. But guess what? I'm not chasing it. I'm not getting caught up in all of the bullish further. I am still trading this appropriately. I recognize that H bar has got away from me, and therefore I have to completely reevaluate the setup, and that's okay. There's no problem. But with this one, with peanut, it still is within reach because it's just in the range above, and this will be maybe I don't enter here anymore. Maybe I move this up to here, right? Because the bullish narrative has changed. But please, everybody who's trading this or doing the challenges at the moment on Hola Prime or Hola Prime X, make sure, of course, you're not getting carried away, because some setups will need reevaluating. Others you'll need to look at with a slightly different approach. I mean, Walter, you're really big into crypto to a degree. So what are your thoughts about the changing sentiment almost overnight and how to trade that?
The change in sentiment of what particularly? Of Bitcoin or of the alts or meme coins?
The alts, yeah.
I mean, with the alts and the meme coins, it's like a lot of people are tempted to just jump into the breaks, which is one way to do it if you're basically someone that doesn't want to spend a lot of time in front of charts. But for me, like, my angle is just to take the retest continuation. So basically what you're looking for on Bitcoin is exactly how I would trade it. So I wouldn't just like keep buying when price, trades higher highs. I would wait for it to retest the region of its prior breakout. And that's an area to buy. So it's a very, like, the beautiful thing is it's such a simple way to trade it that even if you have, you can employ the same method. But I think a lot of people just lack the wait for price to pull back. And also they don't have the willingness to accept when price doesn't pull back as well. Like with your peanuts or your H bar situation, where it was a very, very beautiful head and shoulder, beautiful break above that. And of course, the ideal is to get a retest off the break, but you're not always going to have that, and that's okay as well. You just move on to the next. Right now, it's a buyer's market, but the market has been here before, and we all know what happens in a few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I was just last weekend, I was repositioning a few of my investment entries at super low levels with the altcoins, and now a couple of those positions I've just got out of just to bring lower may actually have to be higher as a result. But this is the chart, the index, the indices which we should be looking at for altcoin longs right now. Now, if you've already entered some altcoin longs and you got some low positions around the price points which we've been in, which is in negative price discovery for some, then you'll be in a good position, because this is an uptrend which has been in place for 2 years, over 2.5 years now. And what we need to see for epic altcoin gains, and I'm talking like turning BNB from $12 into 300, is this move, right? This is what we haven't had this cycle yet. This move, money flowing into the altcoins. Now, right now, we are retesting, Bitcoin dominance is retesting this green primary trend line. And if we get a breakdown from here, we could start to see some really good price action from the altcoins. And that means essentially altcoin longs, which are not just going to the moon, but they are in an uptrend and a consistent uptrend. And therefore, we've got lots of opportunities to enter and lots of opportunities to trade and take profit. But you'll notice if we look at the breakdown from the end of last year, you had this breakdown, lots of good trading for a month. Then we came back up for this essentially what would be a bearish retest, but bullish retest for the altcoin market. And then we just came back up. And this was the biggest liquidation event in crypto history because it caught everybody entering their long positions following this breakdown, and then it reversed. So we do have to be cautious, and it's very important, especially because we still have issues with the world economy. We still have these things. We still have potential lots of wrenches which could be thrown in the works as well. But when we see a break of this primary trend line of Bitcoin dominance, and then maybe something like this, boom, boom, this would be a nice place to come into. And then maybe if we get this, it's game time, it's moon time. So a bit of a splash of cold water. I'm going to try and find a better chart to show you in an end. But and I've just got a question about XRP, and Robert's here. So I need to talk about XRP and Sol, but maybe I'll pass back to you guys first, and then I'll look at that in about 20 minutes. Does that work for you? Who wants it? Stephen,
Yeah,
Walter, who wants to take it? All right, Walter. Can we put Walter's screen up, please?
Setting up right now. I'm still sharing, right?
I should hope so.
There we go.
And Robert, hi, it's good to see you. But while Walter's talking, do you think you'd be willing to give me a little bit more information about your Sol position you mentioned yesterday, so we can talk about it in more detail? And then if you leave that in the comments, if you're willing, we can talk about that once Walter's given us information about his trade. Thank you. All right, Walter, go for it.
Right, am I on now? Oh, perfect. So
yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm looking regards to gold, because we're taking out that high. With a completion of that 15 minutes, so it's like that last of it. However, on the 15 minutes time frame, what I do see here is this is just sort of like the beginning of a new, just a mini cycle. I don't know how much this will sustain, but essentially this is the first instance and a break above that. So what I'm anticipating is again just one more swing side. I'm not sure how far up, so something like this, I would only take this as a 1 to 2, and then after that, you know, we are then potentially gained reversal. But again, it's very late into the day, so this could be price could simply like hold its lever into the weekend. So if you are going to be entering something like this, just obviously because obviously coming into Monday, we could very quick move to the upside, and then after that we could see an even faster, more aggressive move to the downside. So I'm just gonna log into my one second. I'm just gonna bring up my trading port terminal. Let's just end this live. Just give us 2. By the way, Stephen, just in the meantime, if you wanted to share something, please go ahead. I'm just about to my trading port minutes just to get it set up.
No, I'm good. I'm listening to you right now. I'll let you get into it. NASDAQ gave us. I'm a real big NASDAQ trader, so I'm always watching it.
Do you only look at NASDAQ, or do you look at anything else?
For my intraday trading, prop firm trading that I would be doing, NASDAQ is my primary focus. But I'm all over I invest all over the market in many different sectors of the market. But for intraday, high risk trading, I stick with the NASDAQ.
That's awesome.
I use other assets I do like to watch gold and oil and the dollar index, the VIX. Yeah. I watch a lot of that for my trades as well. So I do pay attention to the global market. What do we got here? All right, let's see.
1 second. Okay, I'm taking this long now. So entry goes at this fair value gap right there. Just going to paint this out. fair value gaps, my area of interest. Stop below as per. And again, something like this, a 1 to 2 is the minimum, but also the maximum sort of anticipating this to because price is already overly, we've seen a rally for Asia and New York. Oh man, I'm excited for Monday morning market open. Moves like this is just like, I don't like to say the word predictable, but it's so easy to anticipate what the market will do after the weekend. Okay, so this is a sell buy limit. Done. Risking 1% on this. All right, so I mean, price is already looking like it's beginning to reject, but we might get a second tap off that imbalance. If we do, fantastic. And then from there, we're anticipating that to sort of give the continuation. So yes, that's the final. I think this would be like the final move of today. Again, it is an evening. So there is a tendency when the market is been fully extended, go into, well, Friday evening for me, but if you are in New York, you're going into the afternoon. So afternoon, be like really quiet on a Friday if we've seen a very sustained price action on New York morning. Just something to mind, particularly when it comes to gold. But yeah, so for me, so that's my execution today. Just went long on gold, classic break, retest, continuation setup, and just aiming a 1 to 2 risk to reward with my pending order at the fair value gap within the bullish order block. Oh, good. Steven, you're going to share anything, hand it over to you.
I like your trade so far. I mean, waiting to see if you get tagged in, huh?
Yeah, no, I'll keep you guys posted, but probably, price will tap me in. Again, like if this is going to work, it's going to be like a nice quick trade. So I wouldn't need to wait for like more than an hour to find out if this is going to hit TP or not.
Yeah, I would say you'd probably be able to find out in the next 45 minutes.
Yeah, no, most likely.
Looking at
most likely
some of my own charts here and stuff.
Yeah.
You pulled back. Got that deep pullback, and it's starting to go bullish. So if it's gonna keep going now, if it hesitates too long, like you said, you could see it stall out here in the afternoon. Gold likes to do its move early in the morning with the New York volatility and volume.
Exactly.
This could be its
so usually like early mornings is the best time to
happening right now
to trade gold in New York.
But I worry that you might not get tagged in. I'm starting to worry you might not get tagged in.
Oh, I'm not worried. Like there is a chance it could just not tag me in. But also, if we look on the 1 minute time frame, is just chopping around. So yeah, if it comes, it could be very quick. But I'm not worried. Like either it tags me in
what's
or it doesn't.
What's the price?
Anything beyond that is not.
What's the price you're looking to get in at?
358.52. Don't know what feed you're looking at, but on Forex.com, that's what I'm getting. Yeah, 3,358.52.
No, look where you're at there.
Are you getting in on this as well? Oh, sorry, I've just finished sharing my screen.
358, you said, huh?
Yeah.
It'd have to go into. It'd have to dig pretty deep into that trap. He just laid a nice trap. Could be a little inverse head and shoulders on the 1 minute chart. Let's see if it'll tag that 58 and go. That'd be a beautiful lunch grab right here on at the 12 o'clock. Oh, there it is. There's 3. Ooh,
All right, so
point.
that's it now. Oh, I can just share my screen
really.
again. 1 second.
Yeah. Let's go. Shoot up. I'm rooting for you right now. Shoot up. Let's go. I'll start blowing.
I was like, come on. A little bit of a nudge. That's all we need.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that's now triggered in.
Good.
I guess it's going to be quite fast. Whether it's going to give that leg to the upside or not, we're going to find out within an hour. It's not going to waste any time because like the 30 minutes is already completed its cycle. So it's a question of whether we're going to see something that looks like this. Initial high, comes down, a higher high, and then after that break to the downside. And then after that break to the downside, we can then anticipate the beginning of a bearish reversal.
Hit this. Where's your stop?
Stop just below the low. I just positioned that at like 3,350.30. It's just below the low of the order block. It looks like Bitcoin is starting to correct, even a nice break of structure to the downside. Oh, look at that! Yeah, this is nice. So a nice break.
I see
on Bitcoin.
If you end up taking a little bit of heat, I only see it down to like 53. And then by the time it gets to 53, if you start feeling the emotional pressure of, I'm looking at the hourly chart. So if it's pushing to 53, and you start feeling the emotions that you want to flip your position, definitely hold it. I don't see those equal lows down there on that 1 hour as becoming the trap. People start seeing, it's going for those equal lows. For those equal lows, and they sell.
This equal low is definitely important. I'm glad you spotted that as well. Price will go for these equal lows at some point. But again, like that equal low for me is the target. Mm-hmm.
So let's see how that goes.
So you were saying, Stephen?
I said, so when we get to 53, we do have those equal lows it could target on the 1 hour. But if we do start crashing to 53, like I said, I see that as that support point to trap traders who are now way late to the short. It gets down to 53, and now they want to short from 53 to 50, and then get your face ripped off. And you're in the long already. So if you can hold out, if you can hold the pain is gain, right? Pain will lead to gain. So 53 is where exactly. I see the bounce.
Yeah,
get the pullback.
I mean, the thing is, if you consider like what is the psychology behind the market right now at this high, there's what are traders thinking? Because obviously price is taking out a daily low. Traders are looking at, okay, this is the rejection of a support of an area of resistance. So we are getting early sellers coming in, anticipating a strong move to the down. They will be right about. But what I see happens a lot of the time of scenarios is you're going to get your initial early sellers, and these early are going to position their stop loss above this high, right? This is the initial validation of the sell trade. And then what price does, it will come up to swing up to take out the stops of these early sellers. So sellers that came in would be basically exit liquidity for some of the down year, but would also be a way for like the counterparty to elect new sort of like sell orders at a better price, right? That would obviously be the catalyst for a more sustained move to the downside. So that's kind of like what the psychology I see behind this area right now. So this very strong rejection is sort of validating a lot of sellers in getting into the market right now. It's only a question of whether the liquidity will be sufficient enough to allow price to swing all the way back up to grab that liquidity before dropping down again.
Yep. The little trend line that you had drawn, I feel like that's exactly how it's going to work out. Give us a little pullback about halfway into your stop area there, and then just launch back up, get that exit liquidity, and then take out those equal lows. So the drop now, mentally, emotionally, I see going to try and trap traders to target those equal lows so it can take out the highs. So your position is still solid.
Exactly.
It's just going to try and chase you out and try and get everybody else in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I mean, trades like these are inherently a bit riskier. And the reason they're riskier is because you're trading near a key high, or like, just generally speaking, trading super close to a major low is riskier than when you're trading in the middle of a. I personally prefer trading in the middle of a range or in towards a major high or a major low. But I personally do not have I do not trade in sort of like around major highs and lows, because that's when a lot of chop happens. That's when a lot of unpredictable price action takes place, and that's when you get a lot of really crazy, wacky price action. So generally, like I always advise new traders, like, whilst just trying to build good strategy or build experience, seeing price behavior is consistent, like you trade away from extremes, like all at extremes, because these are usually where a lot of traders get chopped out.
Definitely.
Look at that. Yeah, big now correcting. It looks like it started a correction phase. It's quite a bit of a bummer in this because poor you funny, but so a few days ago, so actually it was about to take place, right? So this was yesterday, and price was basically trading in this range. And so I actually attempted a long trade on the 15 minutes time frame. So I attempted to enter a long trade. Actually, my entry at high of this order block there, and then I put my stop loss sort of like below this low, because I was like, oh, price could trade in, like, would potentially, like, obviously trade into this and leave it. And then what happened is, like, later on in the day, New York session, price came down, tapped that low, triggered a stop, and then ran for it. And then when I was asleep, I left it straight out over nines, woke up the next day, and I saw the price was all the way up here, and I'm like, hey, I mean, am I still in this trade? No, I got kicked out of the trade before the move happened.
That happens a lot. He likes to do that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it happens from time to time. When it like this was such a big trade because I didn't even have a take profit set. I was just gonna leave this as an order. But
let it run, right?
Yeah, because when price is about to go into price discovery, you just gotta let it run for a few hours, see how strong the momentum is. If the momentum is really strong, you just throw your, which is what I like when gold, for example, when price, I caught some really nice trades. So this was when gold went to 3,500. So after right. Yeah, so after gold broke above 3,170, so this value in the year in April, that was price discovery mode. Like it was going into new territories. So at this point, I was just like in on a very nice long trade, and I was just trailing my stop loss. The price pulled back aggressively, and basically was a stop profit at that point. and it just hit my stop loss, and I just got out in profit. So I just prefer to do that, because you just never, if you take your take profit at a very specific level, you could miss out on a 1 to 11 RR, where price could give a very strong run with very little pullbacks. Mr. Paul, are you still there? Are you still with us?
Yeah, so sorry, I just can't hear what you're saying.
I apologize.
Oh, really?
Sorry,
I
say
muted
again?
it for a second there.
No,
I
no,
apologize. I said it was like